Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Guilty Gear. Today we're going to be taking a look at the starter guide to Goldlewis. I'm going to just pick out a few things that we spotted in this thing. First things first, this little intro sequence is honestly like one of the most valuable things in this because it lets you actually look at some of his moves and gives you a little bit of a feel more for how he fights. Like big startup, slow recovery, great zoning. Behemoth Typhoon. This is going to be, if you haven't seen this, brace yourself.
Pizza time.
So they all have different purposes. If this feels overwhelming, like you look at this and you go, oh my god, he's got 8 moves already. Don't panic. The nice thing about this is it's all pretty intuitive. So like the moves that swing over, if you just are like doing that input, are the overheads. The move that swings low is a low. Like the main input sort of 4-1-2-3-6. Like the 2-3-6 basically input is just a long range swing. And I imagine like this will feel pretty natural. As someone who played Baiken in Plus R and Xrd, like one of the Baiken's main things is doing a half circle back kick. And like within a day you feel comfortable doing it. So don't worry too much about that. Like it just takes a bit of practice and you'll have this down. I imagine they also made this input more forgiving than it is on a super, for example. Though you do have to hold the button, I believe, like he says at some point, that you have to hold the button of the direction. I think that's just so the game locks in like what you're going to be doing. Because it'll be very easy if you're not disciplined with your inputs, for example, to do like whoop and go all the way up and then start going into the next input. As long as you know what direction you're starting from and ending on, you should be good. Important thing to also point out is these moves can be used in the air, which is going to be really important. Like, I'm glad they put him against Geo, because I want to point this out while we start this up. All of his moves have quite long recovery. This one's not too bad, but especially like the overhead has massive recovery. Controls a huge amount of space. The freeze frames on this guy are crazy. Look at this. Like, you just cannot challenge this area. I imagine this is a disjoint as well. I'd be surprised if it's not. If you're unfamiliar, just very quickly, disjoints are areas where you don't have a hurt box. So if you attack this, you'll just take damage. A lot of moves in fighting games actually have hurt boxes where you wouldn't expect on weapons and things, but this feels to me like it wouldn't have one.
From behind him to the front.
The fact that you can do it in the air means that you don't have to worry as much about like someone like Geo, where if you whiff that, Geo will just dash in and pressure you and get a counter hit and blow you up. But because you can do it in the air, the moment you land, hey, look, you've cancelled, and you're good to go, and you can mash jab and push her out and stuff like that. So I imagine we're going to see a lot of Goldlewis players using, like, jump one of these, jump Behemoth Typhoon, and just trying to, like, zone people out. Look at this. Like, also, as someone who plays Milia, excuse me? How am I meant to hit him, ever?
Going high. This is a long-range overhead, meaning it can mix up an opponent who is
yeah, so big old overhead. Shonky.
Into its active frames, it can be followed up on.
Boosh, and give you that tumble state for massive damage. Also, we have to point this out. Excuse me? Excuse me, Goldlewis? What's this? What's this? What are you doing? What an animation! It's also worth mentioning he has a dash, and he has an air dash. I could not believe when I saw he had an air dash. So this is the backswing. Like a huge region control again. This looks like it's fast as well. Yeah. So I think this is also going to be one of your main combo tools. Like if you think they're drifting out. Again, as Milia, what the Christ? Like I can't even land behind him. I mean, the hitbox in front is huge, and then just boosh. Like even the air version, actually, look at that again. Look at the space control. This one does definitely leave you vulnerable from the front, I think, if it whiffs. Like, you can catch people, I'm sure. As Geo, you want to be running in and, like, DPing.
Goldlewis swings his coffin down forward from above him.
This looks pretty quick.
With a rather fast startup.
Yeah, so it's a fast overhead. Always good to have.
In this Behemoth Typhoon, Goldlewis swings his coffin forward.
You don't even have to use it. You got to use it once to make your opponent think about it. And that's all you need to consider. This is like corner combo tools. Expect to see this a lot in combo videos. Worth mentioning, by the way, the damage doesn't look huge. Like, it doesn't look like soul damage, let's put it that way. Interesting to see. Doesn't even look like Nagoriyuki damage. Although Nagoriyuki like has to spend.
Goldlewis swings his coffin from above to below, going behind him.
Whoa.
This attack is a low and cannot be blocked.
So a fast low. I'm going to sneeze, and I just edited it out. Yeah, fast overhead, fast low, like, and they lead to combos as well as the big thing. Like, it looks like you don't have to spend 50 meter to get a combo out of these.
Goldlewis swings his coffin from below to above.
This move on first glance doesn't look great, but I love having moves like this, or I like having a combo like this as well. Like any combo, like I love playing Geo, for example. Playing Geo and doing RC and just dashing under people to swap out a corner and stuff like that is super nice. Right, so we have security level. This is interesting because I've actually just been looking at this to try and really understand it. So a couple of things. It increases over time. It looks like level 1 to level 2 increases really quickly, so that charges up nice and fast. Level 2 to level 3 charges slowly. Every time the bar gets to like that midpoint, it really slows down. So getting the level 3 security level seems actually kind of tricky, but it looks like you'll be using level 2 moves quite a lot. This is always good. It is always good to have a slow-moving projectile. Any character in a fighting game that has a slow-moving projectile, especially if it deletes projectiles in front of it, they will be playing around that projectile. It's so important. You're going to have to get used to using this thing. It's really good. This honestly, this is kind of the sort of thing, also, just his animations, like, sets it up in the front and jumps over, fall across. Boosh, boosh. His animations. Just seeing this big man move is incredible. Like the Oki setup as well, it's super nice. Like always good to just have something to force your opponent to block, basically.
Skyfish. Goldlewis sends out extremely fast multi-hit projectiles.
This thing is incredible.
The number of projectiles increases when the security level
so it gets more powerful with security level.
As it sends out many projectiles.
Chips like crazy. The big thing with this is coming up soon, which is that it breaks projectiles. It will just destroy enemy projectiles. So this move to me looks like it has a very specific purpose. God, that looks cool. Also, it just minigunning Leo is so look at him. Just does not care. What a shot. Yeah, this is an interesting move to me, because this to me, if you try and be proactive with this, if you try and make a call out, make a read, and you just mess it up, you're going to die. Because you're just going to be stood there going brrr, and they're just going to jump over and kill you. And I imagine your encounter hit state the entire time, so be careful with this. Definitely use it reactively and use it against like Kai's Heavy Fireball, Leo's Heavy Fireball. I'm sure there's tons of other stuff you can find to use it against. Nagoriyuki will probably be actually quite good against Nagoriyuki because he's not going to like zip across the sky, and so you'll just push him out. But otherwise, be very careful. Like this, if I'm playing Milia, I'm expecting to never see this move used. If I'm playing, if I played Mei, I'd expect to never see this move used, right? It looks too slow and too vulnerable to people who want to fight in the air quite a lot.
Used to react quickly. Down with the system. An attack that is invincible on startup and
Oh, look at him. He's majestic.
sends the opponent flying away on hit. You can go for major damage by using this.
Boosh! So this move has a really cool follow-up to it.
Follow-up attack when this hits at close range.
So yeah, when you hit,
You can perform this move by inputting a full circle in the direction of your choice and P.
so you have to just do full circles, and I think you get up to 3 of them. 3 full circles to get the 3 bombs. Boosh, boosh, boosh. Which you're going to want to do. So here's the thing. People have been doing this for a while, and I've actually started doing this to get my supers more reliable. Instead of doing this input where you go down and across, you just do a full circle anyway, and that's how you get your super. So when you're attacking, because as long as it's not jump cancelable, you'll just do the input, and you'll get the input more often than not. It's a really, really nice cheaty way of doing it. I imagine all you'll do is you'll do the input, and then you'll just keep spinning a few times.
Down.
This move is honestly, to me, this move might be his most interesting move to me. It might be terrible, but it might be great.
Down, both when this attack hits and is blocked. When the security level is high, the number of hits increases, making it possible to keep the opponent locked down even longer.
So that's the key, right? When you're on a high security level, this move will just lock people out. When you're thinking about meter spending, like, to me, what I always try and do is think about what I spend my meter on. I like YRCing, I like red RCing, but YRC definitely, like, leaps to my mind here, because spending 50 meter to say, no pressure, get off me. Like, I'm blocking, and I want you gone, and I want to take my turn back, and now you have to deal with my nonsense. If there's a gap, and you get this out, I don't know if the startup's invulnerable or what, but I imagine after the flash, like, this begins. I'm hoping that if he gets hit, this doesn't go away for his sake, because if it doesn't, then they just have to respect that this hit's coming in. Right? They just have to respect that the ion cannon is coming. And so you get your turn back, that sets you up for an overhead, a throw, or a low. Because they have to just hold that. They have to just block it. And because it's full screen as well, you can use it for setups. I imagine you could also do cross-ups with it and stuff like that. This looks like his ideal setup. I will say, like, the pushback is enormous. Like, this, he's not FDing. Oh, he might have FD'd that, actually. No, he didn't. But it still shoves him out. I mean, because you have the guard break, you have enough time to start getting back in, but he definitely looked good at contesting space here. Boosh. Boosh. The air dash. And then, like, whatever this is. Moves like this are really good, by the way. Ambiguous hitboxes when you're falling, always super nice. Always super nice. Every time he does the handstand. Ignores HCL, like, crazy. It just absorbs it. He knows in trouble against this guy. Definitely looks cool. Behemoth Typhoon is a really cool concept. I'm super curious to see how it plays. It looks like it's going to be wild. Doesn't look like my kind of character. I'll probably mess around with him for a day or two just to, like, get to grips with him, because why not? But doesn't look like my kind of character, but still looks super fun. I'm really excited. I think he'll shake things up a little bit. I'm also curious to see the balance patch that comes with it as well. But yeah, that's Goldlewis Dickinson. What a champion. Just absolute legend of a design as well. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a quick look at him. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are too. Hope you're ready for some more pizza. See you soon. Bye. Bye-bye.